Recording in progress.
Good evening. I'd like to call the July 23rd work session to meet to order. Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. I want to start off by talking about the prison closure. Today we received a letter from the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision informing the town that the Sullivan facility will be closing. It's dated July 18th, which is Thursday, and we received it today. So, you know, they haven't been speaking to the town or to any local official about this closure. Obviously, it seems like a done deal considering the fact that we have about 3 months before it's done, and unfortunately, it's going to have major ramifications for our community as a whole. We're going to be losing 371 personnel. Some of them are able to transfer, most of them will not. It's definitely an issue, and we're going to be working with our county and state counterparts to see if we can, at the very least, buy some time before we force people to uproot their entire families and move away from their communities that they've known for their entire lives. I would also like to speak about a water main break that we had on Saturday morning on Route 42, just north of the highway barn. Basically, it was like a 10-foot split. We had 2 folks that were working on Saturday, and then we had to bring in 2 more folks that were off in order to stabilize it, and then they were able to come back yesterday and repair it. The main issue is simply because that area has a lot of high pressure, and those pipes are upwards, those, asbestos lined pipes are upwards of 80 years old, and you just can't handle the pressure anymore. So we're going to be working as a team, as a board, to try to develop a preventive maintenance program to be able to replace these pipes before they have an opportunity to fail on us. Do we have any correspondence today, Paul?
No.
All right, so let's move on to public comments. Anyone signed up?
I have Pam Wagner.
Just a quickie. We don't want to talk into around here.
Look at the hour, please.
It's underneath
Just
you?
stand right here, Pam.
Right there? Okay. Sorry to give you my back.
I wanted to find out what the pesticides that are being used on both golf courses, and I would like to know the brand and generic names of the pesticides used. Blackmore and Terry Bray spend $40,000 a year on this pesticides and herbicides or whatever, and I'd just like to know what exactly they're using. Second question would be is that we're having issues with traffic on 52 near Sushi Tokyo and Essen, and people are just double parking right on there, and that's where a lot of traffic is. And also the last one is Hasbrook A Road, being that they're going to be developing, Hasbrook Estates, which is up the road, and the fact that we've driven up this road, it doesn't accommodate two-way traffic that easily. It's more like people who need to be polite when they pass each other. So I'm not sure if you want to expand the road since we're dealing with new developments. And that's about it. Thank you.
Stan Wagner, please.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank the town for informing us of the water issues that have coincidentally emerged at the beginning of the summer. Is the town aware that these notices do not reach the majority of people? Many summer residents living in multiple townhome developments throughout Fallsburg do not use the internet, much less go on Facebook. How do you make these residents comply with water conservation if they're unaware of the situation that many of us have to deal with? And the reason we have water issues seems to be due to all these developments being built. So you have people living in second homes, unaware of the water problems the year-round residents have to deal with because of the town allowing all these many townhome developments to be built. Is it right to tell a year-round resident that they can't use their water as they need to because of the situation caused by the influx of second-home summer residents who aren't aware of or concerned with the infrastructure issues? When is it going to dawn on those in charge that this is not sustainable? Thanks.
Anyone else? Anyone online? Okay, all right, so I'm gonna close the public portion, we'll move on to our department head updates. Is Jeff and Taylor here tonight?
So I'll speak for Jeff. Both Terry Bray and Lockmore are enjoying a high volume of play. Pat McNamara and his staff are doing an outstanding job of maintaining both courses. Not a day goes by that we didn't receive compliments about the condition of the course. Our teaching programs are active and we are seeing an uptick in our summer programs. Outings are keeping us busy. The clubhouse has proven to be tremendous asset to the outing season and no issues or concerns to report.
Thank you.
That's it for him.
Was that for Pat
That
as
was
well?
for Jeff. No, I didn't get anything for Pat.
Pat's not here tonight.
No.
All right, so let's move on to Parks. Arnold?
Yes. We'll try and be brief, but it never works out that way. Out front, you might notice the stumps were removed. We did that Saturday, dug out all the old dirt, and at least it's a nice sitting area now. I sent some of you a Curry display. So Francis Curry was a hero, and they made the first G.I. Joe about Francis Curry. So we happened to have one, we used to do a ceremony 20 years ago, 15 years ago. He passed since then, but we have a nice display box with that G.I. Joe, some articles, and that'll be in the lobby of the park. Garbage is always a constant problem this time of year. Our crews are out and everything seems to be going well. I want to thank Water, Sewer, and Highway, pitched in some issues I had at the parks and other places. I know they're working 80 hours this time of year like I am, and I appreciate it. We had some electric issues. I think everybody's having electric issues. We're getting these power surges, which has created problems in both our parks. We have been upgrading in the last couple of years our boxes, but when those surges come, they definitely pop lines. I had NICEAG twice, July 4th, the transformers, their transformers, they just can't take. I don't know if we're getting less electric and they're diverting, I really don't know, but seems to be a big problem this year. But they did respond pretty quick, so we were only out 3-4 hours both those nights. I did have in Mountaindale, same issue, had a surge, took out NICEAG's meter, which blew up our box. So we had partial power this weekend, but it's all fixed as of Sunday evening. The pool is running fine. Our Boys and Girls Club camp is running fine, no issues. This year we brought workforce development from the county. We have 4, they range from 15 to 20 years old. There's 4 of them with a group leader, and they're doing tasks around the park, painting, weeding, garbage. We have a few of the young ladies in the office, other people will be at the boat dock, so they're getting the experience of being in the workforce. Football started practicing only a couple of times a week now till they get ready for the season. We've been busy putting up signs on the rail trail. Jen and I met today with Wanda and got more signage. There will be markers along the trail. We just ordered
some half-mile, mile and a half, 2-mile markers to go out. Mountaindale has some of that already. This is more for the 3 sections in Hurleyville. Jen and I came up with some other signs, walking tips that are in Hurleyville on both sides, from being courteous, bikers. Guess we do have a lot of the bikes on the trail and people are walking, so those are posted. Our Woodridge grant, we've been working on that, where the Never Sink will have a bridge one-day crossover. That's our project with 180. We're about 75% done. All the benches are there. We just have to cement them in, trying to find time to get back there. But hopefully in the next few weeks, that'll be complete. That's just a brief of my day. Any questions? No. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next would be our police chief.
Good evening, everybody. Last time I spoke, I had taken care of April and May, so my update is just for the month of June, what we've been doing. The police department answered 1,336 total calls to service. We yielded 48 cases out of that and 32 arrests. So it's about an average of 44 calls a day to service. We had a pre-summer meeting with our community leaders to get us pointed in the right direction for a busy summer. Anthony's not here from the highway department, but I want to thank him. We had an issue on the corner of Fallsburg Drive and State Route 42 where we couldn't even get through. It was totally blocked, so he put up some of those delineators and signs to help us get that rectified. Lieutenant Dodorados worked real hard, got the police department a $250,000 grant. He's been busy procuring a new server for the police station. We're going to have license plate readers that are going to be put up around different locations in the town. We're buying a drone with infrared ability that's going to be available for search and rescue operations throughout the town. We've been busy moving that speed trailer around. I think that has more miles than some of the police cars right now. I try to keep it in a location for a week, and then we move it. Last month we had it on Glenwell Road for a while, Carnell Jacobs Road, and Church Road. My detectives, they've been overwhelmed, but they're currently conducting 4 background investigations right now for some future new hires with some retirees, people retiring, people leaving for other departments, so we're going to have to be hiring a few new people coming up. Maybe some of you have seen on Facebook the last day or two, there's been some complaints of a large cannabis grow operation that is being put up in Loch Sheldrick. Our department is working with the town, state and federal agencies to make sure that the operation is done lawfully and all the rules are being followed. So when it comes to this, you have to email someone in Albany. You can't even talk to anybody. They have their own enforcement division. They'll get back to us and we'll make sure everything is being done proper out there. National Night Out, it's coming up. I only have one flyer with me. I just want to pass it around for the board to see the flyer. The event is being held on August 6th at Morningside Park. I want to thank Officer Jake Miller for taking the bull by the horns to help organize this event. And Haley Drain is the wife of our Detective Kyle Drain. She took the time out of her day to make that flyer for us. I also like to thank Arnold Sletsky from the Parks Department and the town board for everything they're doing to make this event a success. I think it's going to be great with the fireworks being rescheduled, and we're going to have a huge turnout. Officer Miller arranged with Roland V to have pickup places throughout the town so people that don't have transportation can come out and enjoy the event. All I have. If anybody has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief.
I'd like to just thank you guys for the new dispatchers. I know it's a lot of work with all the alarms coming in at night for the water and sewer department. They've been handling it well. We're getting all the calls. There was no complaints, no nothing. Everything went through.
Great, thank you.
So,
Brandon, do
appreciate
you
it.
want this back?
Oh, you can have it.
All right, last one is code enforcement. Jerry. Last but not
Good
least.
evening, everybody. So we've had a crazy start to the season. It's been pretty busy summer this year. We got approximately 2 developments that just opened up fully. We gave COs to 2 complete developments for the season. We're working on about, in a 60-day period, 322 building permit applications. We've issued 268 of those. We've done about 720 construction inspections, and we've CO'd about 285 places. in the last 60 days. We got to all our camps this year. We did not get back to our camps to do re-inspections on the camps, but we got into every camp in the town and did our fire safety inspections to make sure the campers were gonna be safe for the season. A lot of the items that the people didn't get to were mostly maintenance items. They weren't really any life-threatening fire safety violations. We got to all our seasonal opening, our businesses that were opening for the season. We did a handful of short-term rentals and multi-dwelling inspections, but we were focusing on all the fire safety stuff for the camps in the upcoming season. We're currently working on about 114 open complaints. We've closed 416 of them in the last 60 days that were on the books, that were lingering around and other stuff. We've been working, I want to thank Randy and Bobby, if they're both here. We've been working very hard together to try to make sure all the people are complying with the water rules and running around to the camps and making sure people are fixing their leaks and it's been crazy this year. There's been a lot, and we're a little understaffed. So we are starting interviews this week for some new employees. So we have a list together. Jen started scheduling all those interviews for me this week. So I'm hoping everything works out. The new gentleman we hired about a month ago, Michael, he's working out very well. It's nice to have somebody come in the department that's well, used to the system, how it works, knows how the court system works, how the violations work. So it was a huge weight off my shoulders to have somebody come in right in the beginning of the season, because it was just down to 2 of us and it was a lot to handle. So hoping to get some more qualified people in the office to help with everything. Other than that, we had a lot of issues with the camps, with speakers and noise, septic issues and Foxcroft, trying to be everywhere we can. That's about all I got. Unless anybody has any questions for me? No? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to agenda items. All right, so number 1 on the agenda, these are just to approve town board minutes. So number 1, motion to approve town board minutes dated 7/9/24.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 2, motion to approve town board minutes dated 7/16/24.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. All right, so now we can move on to our work session items for tonight. Number 1 has been removed from, we're not speaking about number 1 tonight, right?
Yeah, my clients couldn't make it tonight, they asked to adjourn it to the next work session.
All right, so then we're moving on to number 2, follow-up on zone change request for Route 42, SBL number 60-1-17.2, from industrial to business, presented by Howard Ingber and Steve Vignati.
So when we were last here, we actually pivoted and we talked about adding allowed uses to the industrial zones, rather than a zone change. And that would allow, instead of an industrial use in the opening corridor of the town, but more of a retail and professional uses as well. And I think at the time we talked, I passed around a zoning map to show the limited areas that are industrial zones in the town, and what we're looking for are retail and professional uses in those zones, which from my perspective wasn't, a hard ask, but it wouldn't be terrible, things to be built in the industrial zone. I don't think there's many industrial zones that will wind up having that type of development, but the one that exists in the gateway to the town, it would allow much more, aesthetically pleasing commercial development, and also provide some, always needed commercial assessment. So I just was hoping to get perhaps an update. I know that it was sent to the attorneys for review. I had provided a list of the uses that currently exist in the B zone, and we're just looking to add to the I zone. So we're looking to add anything that wasn't already an allowed use in another zone in the town.
Did you provide a specific language to be changed?
Since they're already in the B zone, we're just looking to add the exact same language to the I zone. These are, if I can approach, I'll show you.
Dylan and Richard are working together on that.
Yeah.
Dylan sent
Alright, so our attorneys are still working on the wording?
Okay, I just, my client asked me for an update, I asked you, you're gonna come and ask you directly.
Sounds like it's in progress.
Awesome.
Alright, so we can move on to number 3 then. Follow-up for zone change and services for Congregation Mazza, SBL 56-138.1, 56-159, 56-161.1, presented by Steve Vignacci.
I hope you recall this is a large piece of property sitting directly next to a town-owned parcel that originally contained the Village of Woodridge sewer treatment plant that's currently unused by the town, but owned by the town. My clients have plans and or would be developing that as a large camp. It's a fairly large parcel. They have been approached by a member of their congregation that would build second homes there instead. If that were to be acceptable to the town, what we'd look is to really jointly develop water and sewer services. In that small period, just to remind everyone, in that small period, a piece of the river, there's the Woodridge wastewater treatment plant that's currently unused, the Davos wastewater treatment plant that's barely used, and my clients, if they build their camp, would have to build their own wastewater treatment plant. Rather than have 3 wastewater treatment plants less than about a mile, or under a mile from the Who plant discharge, and just about a mile probably from the Egg discharge. We were hoping to, we would rather have a modest, for the size, modest housing development and work with the town to develop water and sewer services that will allow you to get, the Davos that you're currently paying as an outside user, bring that into a coordinated plan. And we'd like to work with your engineers to determine whether that's the Davos plant, the Woodridge plant, or a new plant, but really operate one plant that would service Davos, service our development, and, help you develop that and make a representative share. They've done some test wells, there's plenty of water there, if that can be helpful as well. There's water storage area, I know that there's been water issues in the town, and I'm not sure if this is an area of need as far as storage, but if there's a matter of adding storage, my clients are interested in having that conversation as well. The idea is that they'd rather develop the property where, in a way that is in conjunction with the town, provides some tax assessment, and is probably less taxing on the area than a large camp would be.
Okay, so as of right now, they can build as a matter of rights a camp there and provide their own sewer and water.
Yes,
Right.
they build the camp, they would have to then develop and build their own water and sewer.
But I guess the request is to rezone it to allow for residential use as well as provide water and sewer services with the expectation that it would be one of the sewer plants that's near that vicinity, right?
So the idea would be that, if we came to an agreement with the town to help develop water and sewer, and it have water and sewer services to it, we would want it to be, zoned as any other area of water, with municipal water and sewer in the town. So it would be, we're looking for that level of development, not any more, any less. And in fact, originally, there was a plan for over 400 homes there. They recognized that that's too many, by a lot, and they're willing to have a conversation, lower, 25% less than that, so, just again, so. Most importantly, I think, is really if there's a willingness in the town to work together to solve what is an existing water and sewer problem. Well, not water so much, but I think there is an existing sewer problem that has to be solved at Davos. And not, kind of duplicate services.
How many acres are we talking about?
It's about
Apologies,
200.
I don't have it in memory, so.
I think it's about 200. Maybe we'll put out more. And the idea is to have it zoned where you can build on half an acre if it has water and sewer?
Yeah, typical large one. It's about 200, 59.6. I apologize, I can provide that in the, I believe it is about 200 acres.
Thank you.
And so I believe that the plant that we have here now is a lagoon-type system like we have in Mountain View. So the idea is to try to get that up and running again, but do we know if the DEC will let us use that antiquated technology with the same flow limits?
Ken gets very angry when I try that, Ken engineer, so I'm not gonna answer that, but they are very easy plants to operate, I don't know if the DEC will allow it.
Oh, for sure, they're very cheap to operate and
And they
everything,
work.
it's just, yeah. But it's a question of whether that DC will let us do it, so.
I mean, I think the best thing to do would be to allow our engineers to speak with Ken, and I guess it's Delaware, if that's who's doing, most of your sewer kind of plan. And see, it may be the Woodridge plant, it may be the Davos plant, it may be a new plant. I don't know what the best solution is, but would rather build less, work with, it's better for the community to build less and have housing as opposed to, second home housing than to build, the campus would be a big undertaking.
Steve, do you know what they're looking to build as far as the size of the houses?
I mean, I think it would be typical of, the answer is I don't know, and I haven't had that conversation. My guess is it would be very typical of most second home, building that you see coming out right now.
So that's about 300 homes? Give or
They're
take?
looking, they would like to get about 300 homes on the 200 acres.
But that's assuming that they can get the water and sewer for it.
Right.
If that doesn't work out, they could still build a camp with 900 students or so.
It would be a substantial camp. It's a lot of land.
Does anyone else on the board have any questions? Okay. Thank you very much.
I mean, I would just like some feedback from the board fairly short, I have to report back to my client, so not asking for it tonight, but if I could be maybe on the next agenda, just to have an answer as to whether we're pursuing this. Not looking for a commitment, but we want to at least have this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters and other general business.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. We don't anticipate any additional business after executive session. And with that, we're adjourned.
I'm gonna get better one day, 0-1.